This man's own family says he never should have been let out of jail. Just look at this woman's injuries. Police say that he attacked her in a CVS parking lot.
I just started to open the door. Next thing I knew, I was unconscious and on the ground.
Now, Channel 9 is investigating this man's previous charges and why he was let out of jail without ever paying a dime. This is Eyewitness News at 6. Police say that serious and vicious attack left Helena Ruffin with that terrible bruising and swelling on her face, but we uncovered a trend here.
Eugene Hazen has been in and out of jail several times in recent months and is accused of attacking multiple women in between arrests. Did the system fail these latest victims? Anchor Paul Boyd questioned the jail, the district attorney, and the courts. Paul, why was Hazen allowed back on the streets?
Allison Scott, that is the central question here. Despite his lengthy criminal record, a violent record, the suspect, Eugene Hazen, was most recently let out of jail on an unsecured bond. He didn't pay a penny. Now, just 1 week later, he is accused of brutal assaults on women, including this woman and others.
He wrapped his arm around. As I started to get up, he punched me. He punched me so hard.
61-year-old Helena Ruffin was carjacked in broad daylight on Saturday around 2:30 in the afternoon in the parking lot of this CVS on South Boulevard.
All of a sudden, and I just started to open the door. Next thing I knew, I was unconscious and on the ground.
Police say Eugene Hazen was behind the vicious attack. Ruffin shared these photographs from her time in the hospital. This is what she looked like before the attack. Ruffin says Hazen jumped in the car, but the electronic starter apparently confused the would-be carjacker, who has spent most of his adult life behind bars.
It occurred to me that he doesn't know how to start the car.
Detectives say Hazen took off running and assaulted another woman 2 hours later in this Midtown parking lot on East 3rd Street. That woman also needed to be hospitalized with serious injuries. Police say Hazen then ran down this sidewalk and crawled underneath a tractor trailer in this nearby loading area trying to hide. Officers, including a canine unit, were able to track Hazen down here and arrest him. Eugene Hazen has spent more than 20 years behind bars for violent crimes like armed robbery, and county records show he was arrested again this February and charged with attempted robbery, kidnapping, and assault on a female. But he was released 2 weeks later on an unsecured bond with no electronic monitoring. The county jail, the courts, and the district attorney's office all told me they're not allowed to comment on specifics of active cases.
I'm hoping now, with this face, we'll be able to demonstrate that wasn't the right decision to let him come out.
And Helena Ruffin says she forgives the man who did this to her. A police source told our Allison Lawtis they have just charged Eugene Hazen with yet another assault after his release. They say he attacked a 78-year-old man on Beatties Ford Road and stole his car. Now, I spoke to the family that is close to this suspect. They told me he never should have been let out of jail in the first place, especially on an unsecured bond and without electronic monitoring. Allison.
All right.